back to this Pokemon LeafGreen walkthrough. In the last part we got our first Pokemon and now we are ready to head out into the Kanto region. So now we are on Route 1 and quickly I'm going to present the two Pokemon that you can catch here. First off is Teachy, a dual normal flying type. Teachy is a good flying type to have, but it can be a bit hard to train considering its move pool. Despite this, it is one of the better flying types in the game. Next up is Rattata, a pure normal type Pokemon. Its good attack and speed makes it a durable normal type, but if you want raw power, there are other stronger normal types out there. Continuing along the route, you want to talk to this man. He's from the Pokémon in Viridian City and he will give you a potion for free. In this very first stage of the game, it is recommended that you fight as many wild Pokemon as you can, because you don't want to be low leveled when the going gets tough. I will cut out most wild battles in this walkthrough for the sake of saving time. Eventually you come into Viridian City and the first thing I'm going to do is to show you the Pokémart. Here you can buy Pokeballs, healing items and eventually repels to avoid encountering wild Pokemon. When you come into the Pokemart, you will be asked to deliver a parcel to Professor Oak, so before we explore Viridian City further, we will head back to Pallet Town. After delivering the parcel, Professor Oak will give both you and your rival the Pokédex. In addition, he will give you 5 Pokeballs so you can finally catch yourself the Pokemon you have always wanted. Blue will then leave, being cruel as usual, but he hints that there is something of value in his house, which we will check out in a short while. Now that we have our Pokédex, I will quickly show you how to use it. The Pokédex, as you may or may not know, contains information on all the Pokémon you've seen and caught. If we go into the numerical list, we can see the data collected on my Charmander. Going a little further down the list, we can see Blue Squirtle. Here the data is incomplete because we don't have that Pokémon ourselves. Now we can head outside and stop by Blue's house. It is important that you stop by here because Blue's sister will give you the town map. Now you can quickly find out where you are and where the various cities are. Before continuing, you can stop by your own house and heal your Pokemon if you need to. Now we are back in Viridian City and we will continue our exploration of the city. If you come up here, you will find the most important building you will come across, the Pokemon Center. Here you can heal up your Pokemon and access the PC system, which I will show you in a second. Here you can store your caught Pokemon and organize them in various boxes. You can also access your own PC and store or withdraw items. If you come to the northwest part of the city, you can pick up a potion hidden among the trees. To the left is Route 22, which we will not be visiting just yet. Further up is an old man which you may have spotted on your first visit to the city when he was passed out lying on the ground. But now that he has had his coffee, he will show you how to catch a Pokémon. And out of nowhere comes a Weedle. When you catch a Pokémon yourself, you had better weaken it down before you catch it. You will not catch a Pokémon as easily as he did if it's at full health. After the demonstration, he will give you a very nifty item called the Teachy TV. This is very important to beginners who are not familiar with the Pokémon games yet. Here you can learn about battling, status problems, type matchups, and how to catch Pokémon. I'm going to show you the most important item on the list, type matchups. This is something that everyone must master if they are to make it through these games. Watch and learn. Now I will show another building to you, which you will visit quite a few times during your adventures. This is a Pokémon gym. There are 8 of these gyms in Kanto, and in charge of each one is a gym leader. If you can manage to challenge and defeat all 8 gym leaders, you are eligible to challenge the Elite Four and the champion of Kanto. This gym is closed right now, so you'll have to wait for a while. Now that we have that out of the way, we can head out to Viridian City towards our next destination, Pewter City. Caterpie is a bug-type Pokémon, which will eventually evolve into Butterfree at level 10. As a Butterfree, it can learn a couple of Psychic-type attacks, which can come in handy when fighting Poison types. Weedle is a dual bug Poison type and will evolve into Beedrill at level 10. As Beedrill, it has a relatively good stats, but a terrible move pool as of Generation 3. In the middle of Route 2 lies the Viridian Forest. As you enter the forest, there are 2 paths you can take. The one on the left is a dead end, but it contains an item which we will grab. Meanwhile, we can look at the Pokémon residing in the forest. Kakuna and Metapod are not worth catching, because they only know the status move Harden and are very hard to train up at this point in the game. If you want a Beedrill or a Butterfree, you are better off catching a Caterpie or a Weedle. The real treat in this forest is Pikachu, the famous electric type Pokémon. Good physical and special attack as well as excellent speed, but terrible defenses though. Bear that in mind when using this Pokémon against strong physical attackers. Before leaving this corner of the forest, I'm going to catch a Pikachu for my team. Since I started with the Charmander, a Pikachu will be very useful on my team a little later in the game. And on the 4th attempt I find it. It is rather difficult to find it here since it has a catch rate of only 5%. Due to its poor defenses, I'm worried that my Charmander will knock it out in one hit, but still I will use my normal type attack. If I use Ember, the same type attack bonus may knock it out too, so this is the lesser of two evils. Having brought it down to low health, I am ready to throw a Pokeball at it. And there you go, a Pikachu added to my team. Before we move further into the forest, I will quickly pop by the Pokémon Center in Viridian City and heal up my two Pokémon. Now we will take the right path, picking up a potion on the way. And up here we have our first trainer battle. I will partially cut these battles out so the video doesn't go on forever. This is a bug catcher called Rick, and he has a Weedle at level 6 and a Caterpie at level 6. If you started with a Charmander, then these trainers would be a breeze. They all have bug type Pokemon and Ember would just destroy them all. Here we have Bugcatcher Doug with a Weedle at level 7, another Weedle at level 7, and finally Kakuna at level 7. Here we have Bugcatcher Anthony with a level 7 Caterpie and a level 8 Caterpie. This training can be skipped by taking the shortcut seen on the right here. However, I strongly recommend that you do not skip any trainer battles because you will need the experience. Here we have Bugcatcher Charlie with a Metapod, a Caterpie, and another Metapod, all at level 7. Down to the right there you can find a potion. Last up in Viridian Forest we have Bugcatcher Sammy with a level 9 Weedle. You can also find a hidden potion around this trainer. Finally we have reached the end of the Viridian Forest and we can head out to the other end of Route 2. Ahead of us is Pewter City.